Day 4 of the 2024 Short Course World Championships was another massive assault on the world record book, seeing another 7 world records set, tying the total that we saw on day 1. And one of the final records we saw was one of the most surprising ones so far. But to start, Kate Douglas broke her own world record in the 200 breaststroke while defending her title from the 2022 Short Course Worlds. Her time of 2:12.50 just beats out her old time of 2:12.72 set at the end of the World Cup, and now Douglas owns the 3 fastest swims in history. That 2:14.57 by Rebecca Soni was a standard set in 2009 that stood strong for over 15 years, and now in the span of a couple of months, Kate Douglas has smashed it by over 2 seconds. Regan Smith narrowly beat Maggie McNeil's world record in the 200 back. She swam a 25:23 to break the world record by 2/100ths. The most notable thing about this world record is that now Regan Smith has completed the set, owning the world records in the 50, 100, and 200 backstrokes. And of course, Gretchen Walsh was doing Gretchen Walsh things during her event, namely shattering world records by ridiculous amounts. Walsh is probably going to get her own dedicated video after the meet detailing all the insane things she did during the course of this meet, so I'll give you the quick highlights here. In her first ever official swim of a short course meters 100 butterfly, Walsh set a new world record of 53:24, becoming the first woman to ever break 54 seconds. And since she had the semifinals of the 100 fly less than 30 minutes before the finals of the 100 IM, she would probably take it easy here and be a little bit slower. Never mind. With a 52:87, Gretchen Walsh now breaks the next barrier in the same day, as the only woman to ever go under 54 or 53 seconds. Walsh is now the second swimmer to currently hold the NCAA record and both the short course and long course world records in a single event. The other swimmer is Caleb Dressel, also in the 100 butterfly. The biggest single thing I want to highlight about Walsh's swim, other than the pure absurdity of her times, is that opening split. She was out in a ridiculous 24:37. Do you remember that supersuited 50 fly world record that Gretchen Walsh broke on day 1? The one that had been unbroken for 15 years? That was a 24:38. Gretchen Walsh just went faster than anyone else has ever gone in the 50 fly for her opening split, and it's now the 4th fastest 50 fly in history. Then just half an hour later, Walsh was back for the 100 IM. Here she blasted a 55:11 to smash her world record of 55:71 from the semifinals. Walsh remains as the only woman to ever swim this event in under 56 seconds, and now she's knocking on the door of the 54s. Finally, we have the men's 4x200 free relay, and this is where I really want to dive into things. Team USA had a stacked lineup for this relay, swimming Luke Hobson, Carson Foster, Shane Casas, and Kieran Smith. Casas had actually scared the American record leading off the prelim relay in the morning. With a 1:40.88, he was just the second American man to ever break 1:41. For the finals relay, Luke Hobson took over leadoff duty, and soon it would be more than just the American record under threat. Hobson took control of the race pretty quickly. At the 100, he was a 48:18, gaining himself a solid lead both over the rest of the field and Paul Biederman's world record. And the dream of breaking that world record slowly became a reality as Hobson powered his way to a blazing 1:38.91 for a new world record and the first swim ever under 1:39. Hobson was out much faster than Biederman was in his record. With his first 250 splits, he was out over a second faster at the 100. Biederman was a notorious back half swimmer, but Hobson managed to outsplit him on the third 50 as well, giving him a big cushion for that final 50. Here is where Biederman's record comes flying home, which is the case for all of Biederman's world records. He's just under a second faster here, 24:65 to 25:64. But you can't back half your way out of a hole as deep as the one that Hobson had just dug for Biederman, as he breaks the 15-year-old world record by almost half a second. I've said the phrase 15-year-old world record a couple of times already in this video, and that's because we've actually seen a number of 2009 world records get broken so far during this short course season, but this was the very last one. With this new world record from Luke Hobson, there are now no more supersuited world records on either the men's or women's world record books in the short course meters pool. They're gone. That was a thrilling opening, but we still have 600 more meters of swimming to go in this relay. The American men put on an absolute swim clinic in this relay, having the fastest leg in the field on all 4 legs. They would combine to blast a 6:40.51 to take over 3.5 seconds off of the world record and win the race by over 5.5 seconds. The splits from these 4 swimmers are incredible. Obviously, if Hobson's lead off, but then the other 3 swimmers are all under 141. In fact, if you average these splits, you get a time of 140.1, and almost 139 average for this event is just insane. A double world record in the 800 free relay is just the perfect way to cap off another session that is full of world records. Hobson breaking that 200 free world record was by far the most surprising of the night and probably of the meet so far. Most other world records have either been broken by the current world record holder or by someone heavily favored to break the world record like a Summer McIntosh. And we'll still get to see Hobson in the individual 200 free later on in the meet. Do you think he'll break his record again there? Let me know down below.